I've grown my Instagram account to over 36,000 followers and my clients' Instagram accounts to collective following of over 100,000 followers. So if you want to build your personal brand from scratch, this 15-minute guide will be more than enough for you to grow on Instagram. So let's quickly dive into it. So here we are on my laptop and here is the personal branding mini masterclass. As you can see, me personally, I've gone over to 36,000 followers, Ranveer 50,000, 19,000, 12,000. So now you know that I have some experience to talk about this topic. So let's quickly get into it. Let's go. There are two types of brand on Instagram. First are viral brands of comedians, superstars as Purav Jha, Kylie Jenner. And then there are converting brands like me and other educational brands like Alex Amuzi, Saksham Ghar and people like them. These are all people who belong to converting personal brands, because the reason they create their personal brands is to get business from them, and that is their main goal. So basically, to identify which type of brands you are building, an easy way to do it is by understanding what is your main goal. Is it to get followers or is it to get more money? If it's to get more money, then you are building a converting personal brand. If not, then a viral personal brand. Now let's get to the next thing. We are mainly going to talk about converting personal brand here. Two things needed to build a converting personal brand is as follows. First of all, you need new visitors. And to get new visitors, you need to optimize your content. Now, the second thing you need is once you have gotten new visitors, you will need new followers or new leads. And to do that, you will need to optimize your profile, also known as profile optimization. Now, to do profile optimization, you need to do two things. First of all, you need to fix your profile picture. And for this, you need to go to pfpmaker.com. Go on to your pfpmaker.com and upload your picture, and it will give you the profile picture you need. Next is bio. Now, the bio framework that I have is very simple. You need 3 lines in your bio. First of all, your offer. Second, your authority. And third, call to action. Now, an example of this would be, I would directly give an example of my personal brand. So let me go over there. The first line is helping you grow your personal brand. That's your offer. So helping dash, achieve dash. Helping you grow your personal brand. Second is authority, achieve dash in dash days or month. So you can write something like health brands 300 times the leads in 30 days. Next would be a call to action. A basic call to action I have is book your call to grow your brand. That's it. So whenever whenever a new visitor comes to your profile, they're going to see this bio and they're going to get exactly the idea of what you do, why they should trust you, and what they should do next after they have believed in you. So this is the question your bio answers. Next is content optimization. To optimize your content, you need to keep 3 things in mind. First of all, the who. Second of all, the what, and the how. If you're not getting any clarity on it, don't worry, we're going to talk about it right now. Who? So who is basically your viewer? To understand who your viewer is the first step of building a good personal brand. Because if you don't even know who you are creating your content for, how are you going to grow on Instagram? And the way you understand who is your actual target market is by doing something known as the avatar design. To design your avatar, you need to actually find an actual person. So whenever you're designing your avatar, don't really go into ChatGPT and ask it the question, who is my target audience? Don't do that. Think about a person. It can be your 16-year-old or old self, or like for example, my target audience is my 16-year-old self. So anybody whom you know intimately, it can be your friend, family, colleague, client, anybody, that is the person whose example you should keep in mind. So for example, once you have figured out that person, write their name, age, demographic, job title, and problem. So name might be Alex, age might be 20, demographic might be Indian, job title might be IT professionals, and the problems they face. So for example, the problems might be they believe that they have posted over 100 pieces of content, but they don't know what to do. Or the problem might be, let's say, they have a limiting belief. They don't know how to present themselves in front of the camera. Or the limiting belief might be that they think personality is only for handsome people or youngest or old people, or they need some good amount of knowledge to build a personal brand. They cannot document their life. Something like that. So write down all the problems that actual person that you know is facing and list it down below. This will be your first set of content ideas. Next thing you need to figure out is what. So your topic, what are you creating your content upon, is also something you need to figure out. For this, you need to have 2 types of content. First is viral content. Second is nurturing content. So the work of viral content is to basically get you views, get new visitors, content optimization, and nurturing content is to take those viewers, take those visitors, and basically inform them about your offer, inform them about your content, so that when you are going to sell to them, they are already pre-prepared, pre-sold. So that's the work of nurturing content. Now, as you don't have any visitors, now as you don't have any audience, 70% of your content should be viral content, and only 30% of your content should be nurturing content. Oh my god, I'm speaking too loudly. 2 seconds, water break. Why am I doing this 15 minutes challenge? Anyways, 70% of your content should be viral content. To figure out what viral content is, you need to do market research. Now, I'm going to do a basic cheating, is that I'm going to link this doc down below where I've written exactly how you can find out content ideas with a video tutorial right here. One sec. A video tutorial linked on this. So you can get this link from the description below. Watch this video and it will exactly guide you through how you can find viral content ideas from your own industry. Once you have done that, you need to do second thing, that is known as nurturing content. Now, nurturing content is very important. You cannot mess up this part, because you can find viral content ideas, you can go viral, you can have millions and millions of views, but if you are not getting good clients, if you're not getting good audience and they are not prepared to buy from you, it doesn't matter, you're not going to get money. And to do that, you need to create 3 types of content. First of all is pain point related content. Second of all is questions or mythbusters. Third of all is personal stories. Now, to create pain points and questions or mythbusters, you need to do something known as community research. So let me quickly show you how you can do community research. First of all, what is community research? So whenever you're basically creating intimate content for your community members or your followers, because you want to nurture them, you have to talk about the specific pain point, specific questions they have, or specific myths that they follow. Understand what they are, you need to go into the communities they hang around in, and that is what we are going to do. To do that, we have 2 websites. First is Quora.com. So let's say you are into the fitness niche. So I'm going to go onto Quora, let it load. We don't have time, we have 8 minutes. And it's not loading. Okay, let's go on to Reddit. We're going to go on to Reddit. And we are going to search, let's say, fitness. Not this, fitness. Now, once I search fitness, you're going to get a lot of questions. For example, what's the biggest fitness myth that just won't die? Click on this. And you're going to see so many fitness myths. For example, targeted fat loss. People think it's a real thing. Go and create a content on targeted fat loss. That is something your audience wants to know about. You can see like there are 62 replies and 12,000 upvotes in just this one thing. There is already demand for this question. Then people just don't want to lift weights because they don't want to become super muscular. 3,000 upvotes, 3,000 people want to know the answer, and you can just create content on it and go viral. But usually you won't go viral with it. This is mainly to answer the question your audience has. This is for Reddit. Just go and search fitness, or you can go and search, let's say, dieting, and you're gonna get all the things you want. For Quora, same thing, just it's not loading, but basically you have to do the same thing. Go on to Quora, search fitness, and it will give you different content ideas. Just go, and your job is to find the questions that hasn't yet been answered or is very uncommon, or has a lot of upvotes or a lot of likes. Once you have got that, you have basically found yourself the best nurturing content idea. Once that is done, there is another style of content that is known as personal story. Now, this is what is going to make you stand out, because these content, usually people have created them on Instagram. But you want to do something known as personal stories, your own personal journey. That is what is going to separate you from everybody else on Instagram, because nobody is you. It's basically your own fingerprint. So link your personal story to the ones of your avatar. What do I mean by that? For example, if you have a story of, let's say, you were 300 pounds, you were eating junk food, pizzas every day, and your audience or your avatar has a similar problem of binge eating, talk about that on social media. Talk about how you were able to overcome it on social media and give your own personal input on it, your own personal methodology of it. So what is going to happen is people is going to feel connected with your own story. People is going to trust you more because they will feel that you have lived the experience that they are currently going through. For example, my audience, I had posted hundreds of pieces of content before going viral. My audience has done that too. So I create content on it specifically, that how many content I had to prepare before I went viral for the first time. And that is what my audience gets connected with me. because they feel, yeah, this guy has already went through the struggles that we are going through, so I can trust him. And that is what makes you stand out from everybody else on Instagram, because everybody gives fluff information, but everybody doesn't have the same story as you. 5 last minutes left. Quickly, let's finish this and let's me win this challenge. Now, how? So how are we going to create this content? Still now, whatever we have talked about is who are we creating the content for, and second, what are we creating the content on? But how are we presenting our content is also a very important part on Instagram, because it's a visual platform. We can't just take up our camera and be like, hello, today is this day, I am Shubhankar and I'm going to create content on it. That's not something we can do. We have to know our presentation style. So let's quickly understand what is our presentation style. First of all is market research. Remember, we did market research here, so you'd follow the same format and you will see what people in your industry are also creating your content like. For example, if people are just sitting in front of the camera and giving information and that is going viral, just focus on doing that. No need to innovate. But if you are saying there is like a podcast style or two people talking to each other, then you know what you have to do. For example, in my industry, a lot of people were doing B-roll format of content. So for example, they were doing voiceovers and they were putting the B-rolls on top of the video. I have not yet done that, but I should do it because that's the demand of my market. There was also a whiteboard style where, for example, they were having a whiteboard and they were pointing to on it. So that is working formats on my industry that I should recreate instead of trying to innovate on my own, because that is already working. Now let's move on to the next part. Some examples that you can follow. So let me just zoom in. This is known as the headshot style. This works on every industry, but this has a very low chance of going viral as this is very common. Next is a split screen style, the thing Varun Maya does. So for example, if you're from tech, if you're from AI, you should do this style because Varun Maya and other big creators use this pattern. Third is, this is what I meant by the B-roll style. So Ujjwal Maheshwari, one of my clients, he does this style where he just takes up the microphone and basically he talks into the microphone, records the audio file, and then he puts B-roll of his own on the video. It's a very common format in the founder-based content style that is very common on Instagram. So just research about your industry, research about your market, and no need to innovate on your own. You don't have to find your own content style. You can just take whatever is going right in your own industry. Next is how or to sell. So let me just quickly update this. How to sell. Now there are 2 minutes left, so I'm going to quickly tell you about this. First of all, comment the word monetize because I am probably not going to be able to finish this in the next 2.5 minutes. So if you want an exact guide, like let's say this is all you need to get to your first 10,000, 20,000 followers. So you have gotten to your 20,000 followers. Now you want to know how you can sell on Instagram. So if you want to know the exact way you can sell on Instagram, comment the word monetize under this YouTube video and I'm going to create a separate video on it. Now let's quickly go over how you can sell. So there is 2 ways of selling. First of all is your story. Second is link in bio and DMs. So let me go over link in bio. So if you see this link right here, let me go on to this link. This link has in itself generated me lakhs and thousands of dollars. Probably over $10,000 from just this one link I have generated, because people come onto my profile, and as I said, new visitors will come onto your profile and that is where they're going to get converted from. So I'm going to come onto my profile, I'm going to see my bio, and according to my CTA, I'm going to click on this link and book a call with me, and that is where I convert my audience from. But if let's say you don't have that much amount of following, you're currently fairly new and your audience doesn't trust you a lot, that time you would use something known as the DM funnel, which, to take an example of, one of my clients, Bhavesh, did really well. So what happened with him is, I'll go onto his profile. He has the word DM coach to start your transformation. He has like 967 followers. Not a lot, not even a hell lot. This is not even 1,000 followers. But people who are coming onto his profile saw that he has this link and they commented on his profile, and he was able to close a high ticket deal paid in full from just this comment in bio. People messaged him in his profile, he replied to them, he talked about them, got them on a call, and that is how he closed his first client. This is a very powerful tool if you don't have a lot of followers, because then you get to talk to the client and make them trust you instead of directly getting them on a call, because directly getting them on a call requires a lot of trust, which currently you don't have. Now I have a last 20 seconds left. Stories is basically, in the last 30 seconds I'll quickly explain you this. Stories is basically put on stories, put on normal stories, put on behind the scenes, put on basic stories that you have. Along with that, put on stories by using comment the word this. For example, if you help people grow, get good fitness results, then you can put a story saying that if you want to lose weight, comment the word this or reply to me with this and I'll help you out. That was the 15 minutes guide. Monetization wasn't really completed that well, but if you want a monetization guide, I'm obviously going to create a whole lot of content on it. So comment the word monetization. This is it. This is the 15 minutes guide you need to get to 10,000, 20,000 followers, close 1 lakh, 2 lakh, 3 lakh worth of deals, get some $1,000 clients, $2,000 clients. Nothing much more needed. And I hope this helps. Subscribe to my channel, like this video, and I'm going to create the monetization guide soon. Comment the word monetize for it. Thank you. I hope you understood. I was ranting so loud.